this
Yeah.
was, yeah, so this was like a 48. And like, it's funny to me because it's like, I realized the same thing with my husband. I'm using all of his clothes that were at its heaviest. And, he's
Yeah.
lost 90. And it's like, it's all different for everybody. Right. But I'm
Yeah.
just glad to
It
be able to
truly
shop in
is.
a normal
Yeah.
store. I'm just happy to be shopping in a normal store. I don't have
Yeah.
a ton of options
Yeah.
in my sizes, but at those stores, but at least if I lose something or I forget something, I can shop like a normal person, go to a
But I
Marshall.
think that's really true, like what you said though about how knowing that you can have your needs met, and then you're not going to have to feel embarrassed or ashamed or lost or scared or any of those things that you feel when you can't have
Mhm.
your needs met,
Mhm.
right? So I feel like that was like really powerful. I totally related with that. Like you just want to be able to be okay, you know? And when we forget things and we move, and I think we're always trying to like get there, you know? But I loved that. What about Amanda? What did you think?
I was in there with Kat, and I'm so
Um,
glad that I had that opportunity because she challenged me. So I'm
oh,
walking around like crying because the music, you said it was like a spa
it was very
girl,
spa
please.
in there.
It was like a depression, like an episode of
Oh no,
depression.
really?
That music was made to make you cry. Every
Oh,
person I talked to was like, "Did you see the
oh,
Zepbound
I cried this
experience? I
month.
cried." Yeah. Yeah, you walk in and you're like, "Okay, I'm ready, cheer ducks." Um, I'm walking around, taking it all in, and, like, really feeling every single thing that I'm reading,
Yeah.
like, deeply spoke to me. And then I see those jeans, and my god, everyone apparently really focused on these jeans, but I'll tell you why they stood out to me.
Mm.
I'm, like, walking around it with my camera, and I get to the back, and I was like, "God, that butt is fat."
She must
But,
In a
fly.
like,
good way?
in a good way, like, my husband would
She
be
must
feeling
fly.
these jeans right now, okay? And so I'm like, sad, 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 sad. I see the jeans and I'm like, "Huh, I don't know
Nice
how I
booty.
feel about this," right? And then, I hear Kat talking and I'm like, "What's up?" And she's like, "This is really challenging me because I think that mannequin looks great and
Yeah.
like, like a healthy Olympic skater." And I'm
Mm.
like,
Mhm.
I'm right there with you." And it's true that not everyone is going to be a size 0. Not everyone should be or is meant to be a size 0, and there still needs to be room for loving your body at every stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
So
challenged me because I was
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
I didn't know how I felt
Amanda,
about that afterwards either.
you also pointed something out when we first walked in, and I was like, "Yeah." I can hear Kim getting angry in my head, but I was like, "Oh, but they need to do this." What was it? It
Yeah.
was with diet and what there was
Diet and
something where
exercise,
Oh,
just
changing
I
your
I hate
lifestyle.
when they say lifestyle because it's diminishing what my life was before, and I don't think that the way I behaved before was because of anything that had to do with me. It was because of my disease, and so I don't like when we refer to lifestyle changes or diet and exercise. I feel like those words need to go away. And I know that sounds weird, but like I wish I could explain it better than the way that I do, but it bothers me
it's a
because
little
I
patronizing.
it
That's
is,
how I
and
feel.
it's also and I think too that's been the prescription for us the majority of our lives, right? You go to the doctor, diet and exercise, and now they're saying, oh, medicine and diet and exercise, and I'm like, can't we just like have everything in moderation? Can't we live? Don't we deserve to have rich, full lives? Like, isn't that allowed? And can't we have a space or words that sort of just like are better? And so to me, it's like movement, nutrition, community, mental health, medicine. Like that's like my living my best, healthiest life that I can live. You know what I mean? And I think that we all have different ways to talk about it, but I will always hear, you know what I mean? You're fat and you're not enough or you're too much. Anytime someone says diet and exercise to me, and that's stuff I got to work through. But I wish that if we're really trying to transition out of this, a lot of times in movements, we find new ways to say things. I mean, there's several things that Mike has even said, no, we have different language around that now that he was learning at the show, which we should touch on, Mike. Because I think this is a massive, we knew this was a movement the whole time we've been here, guys, but people are just figuring it out. Do you know what I'm saying? And I
Mhm.
think that if we can find a way to kind of define that of what makes the most sense, then that would be really positive going through. Hey, Brian, I'm so glad you're here.
Hey, Brian's
Can,
here.
can I just also say that exhibit? It's interesting that our reactions to it,
Guys
because
talking.
it literally wasn't designed for us,
Right.
right? It was designed for. There were 4,500 people or so in that conference, and there were what that I met maybe 20, 25 patient advocates, maybe if it's that
Yeah.
high. So the vast majority of people were medical providers, most of whom are not on GLP-1 medications or bariatric patients, right?
Yeah.
Most of them. It was designed to build empathy for others. And it's just interesting to think about that from that angle, right? Because it affected us, many of us, not you, Kat, because you have no heart. But
I do.
Oh, someone else to pick on Kat. Yay.
Like baby.
but
Tirzepatide has great cardiovascular benefits, I hear.
but it was,
yes.
it was literally designed to like help doctors build empathy.
Yeah.
Because think about it,
Do
we're
you
not
think
seeing
they,
that
do you
advertising
think they
elsewhere.
did? Like, I'm wondering.
I mean, I was watching the doctors and physicians in the room, and what I thought was interesting was how many were watching us, Kim, move through it.
Yeah.
Right. The personalization of it.
Yeah. I did
You
love
guys
the
talk
special
about the-
effect of our shadows when we were looking at the wall. You
Yeah.
could see Mike and I's shadows and our, like,
Huh.
I don't know. There was something going on in my brain there where it was just like connecting all. It was getting me in a place to cry. Like, it was really, really intuitive.
And Nanette, I know there's tons of doctors on them, but it's just not the majority of them in that room, in that space.
Yeah.
Could you talk about that one seminar you guys went on that you felt a little flaccid?
The food. Both
Flaccid?
I had to say the word flaccid. I had to.
Really?
It felt kind of flaccid.
No one likes a flaccid session here.
Do you see what I deal with?
I did not go
Flaccid.
to a food one, but this is not what we're talking about, but I have to ask before I forget, did you go to the compounding one?
Yes,
Oh.
yes,
I
I
went
did.
to the
Because
back
Sabina
end.
reached out and she was like, did you go to it? And I'm like, no, I was catching a flight. I have so much FOMO right now because I had to leave the last day I missed.
Okay, so
I've
So
got
I
a
need to
lot
know
to
all
say
about that.
that one.
Here we go.
All right, let's organize. First things, hold your pin, okay, for the compound. Go back to the one where you felt flaccid, and then we'll go to.
Are you talking about the food one we went to?
Wait, you felt kind of like, what the heck is this?
Oh, the
We
one
already
Mike
know
and I went
this.
to.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was the flaccid one, right? The food.
It was flaccid.
So one of the things that surprised me,
Yeah.
and this is true for this session, but other sessions as well,
Yeah.
is that things that like seem like 101 to me and to Kim or others based on lived experience often would get people's, like the doctors would be like, oh, interesting. And I'm like, is it though?
Is it?
And we went to one on food policy, right?
Yeah.
RFK food policy. It was just very,
Oh, Lord.
yeah, it was very, I don't know. They talked about some things about junk food and what other countries are doing. And it just felt like stuff we all talk about in our community sometimes, that it seemed like breaking news to the doctors, to the point that Kim and I texted each other and we left and went and found Kat and we made a soap opera.
Yeah.
I
I did like the doctor that
in the
came
dog
on
park.
after that guy. She was kind of great because she was like, we need to do both, guys. Like, and then she was talking. I really would love to connect with her because I was liking where she was going. I was like, this is very plus sides, right? Like, I was like, we need to have her on the show. But like before that, I sent Mike a message like, wait, I don't understand. Are we talking about changing the food system from taxes from a punitive perspective? And he goes, yes. And then the other person was like,
Really?
oh yeah. And yes, that like, and then they put labels on the food that basically said, this is, and they were showing it in another language. So, and I don't read any other languages, but it was basically like, this is bad poison. Don't eat it, you know? And putting that on, like, I'm just going to say it, Frosted Flakes, because I'm not sponsored. Frosted Flakes, and like a thing. And then they were saying that, oh, well, we noticed that people, and they were, I couldn't really understand how they noticed and what equaled noticed, but they were saying that like, we saw that people were buying less of that food, and that we think it's because we put the label on it, and they decided that the kids were saying, I don't want that, Mom, because that's bad. I want the healthy thing. So it was all very this like psychological, like punitive thing. And I actually went to Mike and I go, I feel like he needs a slide that says that. There's nothing like it was hard to follow like as a patient. And so then like they go on to the next and they're talking, and I was like, but nobody said if that affected the obesity rate.
Yeah.
Like there was nobody going like, and then that was the language that I used wrong. Might remember
Yep.
I said obesity rate, and then you said, wait, no, we talk about it like this now.
Yeah. So Ted Kyle, who was on many of the panels that was there, did an article on his Conscient Health a week earlier where he said he was chiding the media on saying the obesity rates are dropping in the country because the rates of obesity are not dropping. Obesity is a chronic disease. The BMI of the country is dropping. More people are in remission in their disease of obesity, but obesity is not disappearing from the country. The disease is still there; it's just treated.
Yeah.
And so I was
And
Yes.
let's
Love
be
that.
honest for a second too. That study about health and weights going down was self-reported.
Yeah.
What chance would you take to, shave 20 pounds off whatever you were when you were reporting your data to your doctor or something like that, just so that you can feel a little bit more confident? Like, I've lied about my weight before. When I was heavier.
hard.
I don't now. I feel much more confident about where I am now. But it's the BMI is definitely going down. People are getting healthier, but
Yeah.
we have to realize also we got to still convince the masses that obesity is
Yeah.
very much a disease and requires ongoing treatment.
Yeah.
Not just a snapshot of data.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good point, and something that I definitely think we should refer to differently, like going forward. You know what I mean? Because I think that is the case, right? That is the fact that we have all the science to support that that is what is true, right? So many years and so much data.
Yeah.
So I think like it's interesting because I do even hear the doctors, our doctors, guys, our doctors speak of that graph of where, like, if you remember, it was like a year ago, but like Weight Doc and a lot of the doctors that we respect a lot were talking about how the obesity rate stopped for the first time in like 50 years. And what they were talking about was this graph that was tracking BMI, right? And they were like, and we think there's no direct correlation like automatically within a study, but we can make the assumption that it is the availability and accessibility of GLP-1 medications that is the reason we have seen this halt. You know what I mean?
So I'm just going to put a pin in this, but one of the best sessions I went to was a debate around BMI that I could talk to later. It was fire.
Oh my God, I can't wait to hear.
Yeah, was that what we talked about the body roundness index too?
Yeah.
It was part of what they talked about.
Okay.
They talked about Me 360 in it.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Let's go to Brian's question, and then we're gonna go to Amanda's pen, and then we're gonna come back to your pen. See, I can do this, guys. All right, Brian. While it was moving, did you feel any way like polarizing? I feel like sometimes patronizing. I feel like sometimes the education around the obesity experience can be a bit of a catastrophe is it?
Caricature.
Let me turn on
caricature. You need your glasses, my dear.
I did not feel that way. Did you guys?
I was ready for it. Honestly, I was ready for the patronizing, but I was very surprised.
Yeah,
It did not.
I did not feel that way. Yeah, at all.